Welcome to Portsmouth Insights. I'm your host, Rob Lauer. Healthy Portsmouth is a citywide health and wellness initiative committed to changing the policies, systems, and environments that affect our neighborhoods, schools, and workplaces in order to improve the health of Portsmouth citizens. The initiative's vision is to make Portsmouth the healthiest place in Hampton Roads to live, learn, work, and play. On this episode of Insights, we'll visit former pro wrestler Mark Fleming, who for over a decade has been in the business of getting people physically fit at Fleming's Gym in Olde Towne. We'll also visit Executive Director of the Portsmouth YMCA, Richard Wentz. And in our neighborhood segment, we'll visit a historic neighborhood that's actively promoting a healthy lifestyle, Port Norfolk. All of that is coming up on this episode of Portsmouth Insights. Welcome to Portsmouth Insights. When people think of getting physically fit, they think of joining a gym. There are many big national chains of gyms and fitness centers that can be found throughout Hampton Roads. But at Fleming's Gym on High Street in Olde Towne, you'll find something that you'll never find at the national chains. A full-service gym where, whether you're a fitness pro or just a beginner, you can receive personal training from a former pro wrestler. That's because Fleming's Gym is owned and managed by pro wrestler Mark Fleming. Well, Mark, thanks for joining us today on our show.
Thank you.
So, and congratulations. Your gym has been here in Olde Towne for 10 years now.
Going on 10 years. Yes, sir, this year.
That's great. Tell us about your career before you opened the gym. What's your story?
I wrestled professionally for 18 years before I opened this place. I moved over in Portsmouth while I was in the wrestling business, and I used to jog through Olde Towne here. And, I saw there was a need for a gym for the Olde Towne people to walk to and for the city workers to walk to at lunchtime. So I started taking my own, I took my own poll, I guess you could say, and just asked people, what do they think about a gym coming to downtown Portsmouth? And I got good response. So I said, shoot, I'll do it. So here I am.
And this is different because most gyms are they're national chains and all, but yours is unique in that it's a one of a kind, right?
Yes, it is. There's not too many privately owned gyms anymore. Unfortunately, the big chains, you call it, has taken over, and we really can't compete with them as far as memberships and the deals that they give people. But what we can do is give them personalized training and personalized attention. And I feel that's what we do here at Fleming's. I concentrate on every member that I have that comes in here. I'm usually involved in all their programs, their workout programs. I have a lot of senior citizens that come in here from Olde Towne that will either walk over here, and I have a lot of women that I train, personal training. So I have a good mix of people at all levels. I do have some high school athletes from the local area coming in here and working out. I do help them on occasion if they need be, and but my main specialty is strength training and help people build their bodies, not only getting muscular, but like in women, I tell the older women that I have training here, you need strength training to build not only muscles, but bone to prevent osteoporosis. That's a proven fact.
Yeah.
So, everybody needs strength training. The cardio is fine, and I do have all the cardio equipment here available, but they need strength training also.
Do you get some kickback from the women afraid of becoming too muscular?
Oh, yes. They think.
So what is your answer to that?
I tell them they're not going to look like the ladies in the magazines and all. That's usually people on steroids. We don't work out that way. We do. I've got everything, every type of dumbbell you can think of here, from 2 pounds all the way up to 150. So I got something for everybody. And we don't lift very heavy for the women. I take everybody individually and find out their needs, and we will go from there on their program.
Okay. As far as overall health, people do usually think of when they get in shape, getting on a treadmill. But what are the benefits one gets from strength training besides just bones and muscle? I mean, does that help burn off calories? Is that as efficient as running?
Yes. When you build muscle, you burn fat. And a lot of people don't know that either, but building muscle burns fat. And they say, well, I'm not losing any weight. Well, muscle weighs more than fat. So I tell them, you need it all. You need the cardio training. I'm not saying that, but not just the cardio training. You need them with each other, conjunction with each other. You need the strength training and the cardio.
But this type of gym, do you have sort of a niche following, or are there people that are attracted to this type of place as opposed to the large national chains? And why is that? What do they find here that they don't find there? Well,
mostly the younger guys would rather come into what they call an old school gym or black iron gym. What this is, the weights are all iron. There are no rubber weights, no fancy computerized weight machines. Everything is just iron weights. And I find that a lot of the younger guys like that. It's just a different atmosphere. You don't have the fluff or the glitz that the big time franchise gyms have.
Yeah.
And you come in here, you do your workout, and you get out. I mean, that's just it. It is what it is. It's nothing fancy, but I have everything you need for total body in this gym.
So what are some of the challenges? You've been here for 10 years, but I'm sure there have been ups and downs during that time, especially with the recession and all. What have been the challenges of having this type of thing with competition from national chains?
The biggest challenge is the big chains are giving the store away. I try to make up for that by quality as far as helping people.
Well, what they get now, you are a personal trainer. You personally can train people.
Yes, I train people. I train people from 16 to, I've got a guy I'm training now for 86 years old.
And do you have die-hard, devoted clientele who've been here for 10 years?
The gentleman I'm talking about, 86 years old, has been here for 10 years. So I think he likes it.
Okay.
But I've got a good clientele here. Like I said, most of my people are from Olde Towne. I do have some Western Branch people to come here, and then from the city. And everybody gets along. It's kind of like everybody knows everybody here. It's like a small camaraderie, Mm-hmm. And we make it fun. It's a fun atmosphere. I don't want to make fitness to be dreaded. I work out these women that have never worked out a day in their life. I get them in here and I make it fun for them. I try not to make them so daggone sore where they can't move the next day. So that just deters them, for coming back. So I try to make it easier on them and try to have fun and joke around with them as we're working out. A little different than the other big guys.
Yeah. So, any final words? What is Healthy Portsmouth initiative is going on? What are your thoughts on health and working out and the importance of it, regardless of what your age might be?
You're never too old. I have people coming in here and say, well, I'm too old. I can't start. I've never done this before. And I say, look, you're never too old to exercise. I don't care if it's just riding the bike, walking on the treadmill, lifting 2-pound weights. Your body is made to move. And as long as you're moving, you're helping your body. If you just sit all day and don't do anything, it's not good. The body is made to move. It's just like a machine. Mm-hmm. And I tell people, you're never too old. You can be too young. I recommend not under 13 years old to work out. But you're never too old to exercise.
All right.
And everybody needs it. It's very, very important.
All right. Well, thanks so much for taking time to talk to us today. Continued luck.
Thank you.
For another 10 years.
I hope so.
All right. Thank you, Mark.
Thank you.
When we return to Portsmouth Insights, we'll talk with the Executive Director of the YMCA of Portsmouth, Richard Wentz. That's coming up after this message.
Enroll, we say, we want you to be okay. Enroll, we say, take care, people, for goodness sake. There's a plan for every budget, so don't accept defeat. Now you can get covered and still buy me treats.
You take care of your pets. Now it's their turn to take care of you. Visit getcoveredamerica.org to learn about your health insurance options.
Hey
everybody. Heart disease affects 1 in every 3 women in America, but you can fight back. There's no time to lose. Mothers, sisters, daughters, families, and friends, it's time to shout louder, stand stronger, and demand change. Let's go!
To the Batmobile. Dang it.
To the invisible jet!
Dang it.
Together, we can put an end to heart disease. It's time to go red for women. I could use your help. Yeah! Learn more from the American Heart Association at www.goredforwomen.org.
Welcome back to Portsmouth Insights. The YMCA Portsmouth, located on High Street in Churchland, has promoted healthy living and physical fitness for the past 25 years. For much of that time, Richard Wentz has been a driving force at the Y. Currently, he serves as the Y's executive director. A short time ago, we stopped in and spoke with Richard about the mission of the YMCA and about his work there. Richard, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you for having us. And, one thing we want to say, we don't want the YMCA of Portsmouth to be the best known secret in Portsmouth. So we're glad you're here to showcase.
Oh, glad to be here. I've been a member here for years, off and on. So Okay. So how did you come to this position? I mean,
wow.
Did you start out as a kid thinking, gee, when I grow up, I want to work in the Y?
No, actually, I was a high school teacher and coach and thought I was going to do that after 4 years. I said, let's make it a career, but I needed my master's. So I came back to Portsmouth and lived with my grandmother in Olde Towne, Portsmouth, with Old Dominion. And I actually started working right here at this Y part-time as a front desk attendant, as a weight room attendant, a PE teacher, and a supervisor. And as fate would have it, I graduated in May, and this position came available, the assistant position came available, and I accepted that with the understanding if I didn't like it, I was going to go back into teaching, and 24 years later, I'm still here.
So you still like it?
Still like it. Served 10 years under Ben Griffin, the executive director at that time, and the last 14 as the executive here.
Okay, the YMCA and you too personally, you're involved with the whole Healthy Portsmouth initiative.
Very much so. The Healthy Portsmouth initiative is based around healthy lifestyles, fitness, and nutrition, and the Y certainly falls into the fitness part of that. And we have programs for children and seniors throughout the day and into the night that just keeps that part of the fitness component active.
Mm-hmm. So what types of, the facility itself, what does the facility have to offer?
We are very fortunate to have a full facility. We have 2 pools. One's a therapy pool that we just completed back in 2009 that we share with Bon Secours in Motion. Mm-hmm. They use it for some physical therapy classes. We have our regular pool, which houses all of our swim classes and swim team. We have over 120 children in our swim team class. Mm-hmm. And then we have a gym. Very nice gym. Really is. 4 sets of locker rooms, men, women, boys, and girls, racquetball courts, 2 aerobic studios, and then the free weight room where we're in today, and our regular fitness center.
Okay, how many people do you employ here?
We have about 145 part-time employees, everything from a water aerobic instructor to a lifeguard to a fitness attendant. So we really have a lot of good part-time employees with us.
And how many full-time do you have?
10.
10.
So it's really the part-time people that run the Y.
So when a person joins the Y, and they have, of course, all the facilities, the weight room, the running machines, all of that,
yes,
the pools, but there are then classes and things that they can take advantage of.
Very much so. It used to be just the low and high impact aerobics and step classes. Mm-hmm. Well, now you got your body pump, you got your kickboxing, you got yoga, Pilates, you got all different variations of these classes. Very well attended by not only the young people, but also a lot of seniors as well.
Okay, going back to the Healthy Portsmouth initiative, what are some of the things that initiative is trying to accomplish? What are some of the goals?
Well, they're trying to change policies within corporations and businesses, trying to establish healthy lifestyles. We've taken, like for instance, our vending machines, we've taken out some of the bad snacks and substituted them with good snacks. Though we don't have any stairs at our facility, a lot of the others are encouraging people to use stairs. Mm-hmm. They've also had some initiatives with smoke-free campuses. So all of these things are changing policies in which people are adapting better to healthy lifestyles.
That's great. Now, here at the Y, you were telling me earlier that you have a program that's geared towards kids that basically the elementary schools?
Yes, we received a grant from Portsmouth General Hospital Foundation and the Beasley Foundation to conduct our 2nd grade swim gym program. Mm-hmm. All second graders in the city of Portsmouth schools come out to the Y, and they spend 30 minutes in the gym, and then they get 30 minutes of water enrichment, water safety classes, and they do that for a week, and then another second grade class will come in. We've been very fortunate to have this program for the last 6 years, and it's touching the lives of young people so they understand more about the safety issues surrounding water. There's a lot of water in this area, and it's also to build some confidence, and some of these kids end up becoming good swimmers out of it as well.
That's great. I've heard recently that we've heard so much about childhood obesity, and yet I've heard recently that that has actually dropped over the last decade.
Well, the more awareness that we can do, the healthy snacks, the exercise components part of it, and just getting these kids more up and active. I know they like to sit in front of TVs with the video games, but we're trying to encourage at least 30 minutes of activity. And in our after-school program, we do have snack time, healthy. We have homework assistance, but then we have 20 minutes of gym time.
Okay. Now, you were also involved with the Portsmouth General Hospital Association.
Yes.
What is the goal of that organization? What is the work of that organization?
The Portsmouth General Hospital Foundation is partnering with Healthy Portsmouth and trying to make sure that there's funding in place that we can put these programs and have staff leadership in to conduct them as well. Portsmouth General Hospital Foundation has been really key in helping not only the YMCA swim gym program, but other nonprofits in the city of Portsmouth, what they're trying to achieve with their goals with children and with seniors.
I'm curious. Do you find this type of work fulfilling, and why?
Oh yes. Well, interaction with people. Those who come to the Y, you see them on a daily, weekly basis, and they become friends of the Y. And just a 15-minute workout from them and 15 minutes of conversation with us makes everybody's day a little bit better. And we certainly want to be a part of the community that's welcoming all, and to see people that come up and enjoy what we're providing for them certainly is successful for us.
It's now athletics. You were athletic as a youth,
At one time, when the knees were better, yes, maybe so.
But any final words you'd like to share about the importance of physical activity, of health? It's something that we take time for everything else most of the time.
Yes.
We always find excuses not to exercise, not to eat right.
The hardest part of an exercise program is getting started. And we have first-time fitness classes. We have people on staff that do the pre-measures and the pre-evaluations so people can see the progress that they're making. And it's really about routine. We tell all new members that if they can get into a routine where they're up here 2 or 3 times a week, and they don't have to do much to start off with, but they get accustomed to coming to the Y, then after they've established that and they start getting into an exercise routine, they start feeling a little bit better about themselves. They'll get to a point where they don't want to miss a workout or coming to the Y, and that's when we know we've been successful.
Right. Well, thanks so much for taking time from your very busy schedule to talk to us today.
All right.
Thanks so much. On this past April 24th, several weeks after our interview, Richard Wentz was honored as the 2013 First Citizen of Portsmouth. Coming up next on Portsmouth Insights is our neighborhood segment. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
It's good.
Homemade noodles. Oh. Marty, stop it. Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. It reminds me, I've been thinking maybe we should try a new form of birth control. I heard about this one, it's called the IUD, intrauterine device. Or we could try the patch on your arm. Actually, I think that one goes on your butt.
Bedsider.org has birth control information and a lot more. And it's...
What do you think then? Arm or the butt?
Michael Adams?
Here.
Michael Adams?
Here.
Michael Adams.
Michael Adams.
Students who miss 18 days of school in any grade risk falling behind and not graduating. Absences add up. Keep track at boostattendance.org today.
Welcome back to Portsmouth Insights. Port Norfolk is one of Portsmouth's historic neighborhoods. Built in 1890, it features beautiful older homes, wide streets with sidewalks, and stunning views of the Elizabeth River. The Port Norfolk Civic League also actively promotes a close sense of community and a healthy lifestyle, with activities and events throughout the year, including the annual Booyah 5K Run.
Hi, I'm John Lipsey. I live in Port Norfolk at 229 Mount Vernon Avenue. I'm currently the president of the Port Norfolk Civic League. This is my second time as president. I've been president for 2 years now. And we moved into the neighborhood 16 years ago, my wife and I and our 2 children. And we've had a great experience there.
My name's Amy O'Donnell, and my family and I moved to Port Norfolk about 8.5 years ago. And we moved there, we really liked the kind of the feel of the neighborhood, the tree-lined streets. We liked that it had sidewalks. Our previous neighborhood did not, and so we like to go for walks with our dog and take bike rides and everything with the family. So, and we had a couple of friends that lived there, and just we really liked the character of the neighborhood.
We built a house in Virginia Beach 25 years ago, a very modern house. My wife is a native of Portsmouth and wanted to return there, and she liked the neighborhood of Port Norfolk. We looked at several houses, and we liked the fact that it was a historic district and had rules and regulations. So we bought a house 16 years ago in Port Norfolk.
Our house was built in 1910, and it's kind of a Victorian style. And then there's a ton of different types. There's craftsman style, and there's Foursquare.
The main selling point is that it's a historic neighborhood of beautiful old Victorian homes. The really cool thing is they're all different.
It has a lot of variety. Nothing feels, it just feels unique, and everybody has their own style and the way that they keep their yards, and they kind of let their personalities shine through.
We have sidewalks, and we all have front porches, and we're close to the street, so there's a lot of interaction with the neighbors. It's not sterile, where every house looks the same. And you tell somebody I live on the brick house on the corner, and they know where to go. You don't have to say a street number and a house number. So it's very cool that it's a great neighborhood like that.
There's just a feeling of, community, and everybody sits on their front porch and waves at each other, and most people know at least a few of their neighbors, and that's unique too. I think when we moved in, 3 different people came and introduced themselves to us within the first few days that we were there. And our previous neighborhood, which I won't mention where it is, but our previous neighborhood, as we were moving out, we had our U-Haul there. And this person that lived across the street from us the whole time we were there for like 5 years came over and said, "Hey, welcome, do you need anything?" And we're like, we're actually leaving. But so it's been a nice welcoming type of place. But
we have set up a walking path through the neighborhood with Healthy Portsmouth. It's a marked path through the neighborhood with street signs that show you where to walk.
Just the other night when I was driving home from work, I saw, 5 or 6 people out walking the dog, riding bikes, running. There's a lot of people get out and get active, but there's also, we have access to the Elizabeth River right at the end of, on Bayview Avenue. So a lot of people take kayaks out, canoes. It is an active community, and people check on each other, and they'll invite each other to go do things. So if you have just moved there and you want to learn about, hey, is there a group that I can go out and walk with or something, if you post on the Port Norfolk Facebook page, we have, I think about 1,850 people that have liked that page. So if you put something out there, you'll get a response.
We also have the Booyah, which is a 5K race, which we hold concurrent with Halloween. It's always in October. This is our 3rd year now. It's been very successful.
The Booyah is, it's a fundraiser. It's for the Civic League and the Food Bank. And it's a 5K and a fun run. It's a costumed Halloween theme. The runners run through Port Norfolk. They can also walk. They can do it with their dog. We have costume contests for people, humans and dogs. And we have a DJ there that gets everybody pumped up. And we have photo booth, and just it's a lot of fun. But the main thing that we do is raise money for the food bank, and we also collect, we do a pack the truck. So we have a big U-Haul on site, and all the runners bring donations, and then they get raffle tickets for really awesome prizes.
We do children's run, a 1K run. We also allow strollers, we allow dogs. So it's, and people dress up. So it's a great way to incorporate Halloween and being healthy. We have 2 parks in the neighborhood, Fountain Park, which is in the 600 block of Broad Street, which is an older park, which the neighborhood has refurbished, put in a fountain, put in children's equipment for playground. And we also have established a waterfront park, which is Reflection Walk, which is along the waterfront of the Elizabeth River, the Western Branch. And it's approximately a 1/4 mile long. And the rarity of it is, it's one of the few places in Portsmouth where waterfront is not privately owned. Other than City Park, Port Norfolk is basically the only waterfront in Portsmouth where you can actually touch the water. So it's pretty cool. We have a sandy beach. We have people launch kayaks from the waterfront right into the river. A lot of fishing down there. So it's a great area, and we now have a walking path with lighting that the city has put in. So it's a really nice area along the waterfront.
We are really lucky to have two of the greatest rated restaurants, in the region, in our neighborhood. The Pizza Box is always called the best pizza in Hampton Roads, but we also have Stove, the restaurant that's Sidney Mears is the executive chef there and owner, and he has for years won awards. He wanted to stay really in the neighborhood because that's where he lives. So he can walk across the street to work, and he has a beautiful restaurant, and we have a lot of, we have Mr. Lee's hot dogs. We want to attract more businesses. We've got Great Village Hair run by Susie Gilmont. She's got a great team there that can make everybody look great. But Port Norfolk will support small business. So if someone wanted to come, we had a bookstore at one point and we had a coffee shop, and both of those businesses the owners have left the area. But we definitely we welcome more. So if anybody wants to open a business, we'll support it.
The Civic League is very active. It's been established since the early 80s. We became a historic district in 1984. We meet monthly. We have a newsletter. 1,200 newsletters go out each month to residents of the neighborhood. We're very involved with activities like the Booyah, and we have an annual Christmas Homes Tour. We're very involved with cleanliness of the neighborhood and keeping our neighbors involved with the neighborhood.
I feel like Port Norfolk was the right choice for my family, and we really like living there, and I really love my neighbors, and I love how involved everybody is in the community. We do cleanups, and we do activities and fun things, and you just feel part of a community when you're in Port Norfolk. So.
That's it for our show today. As is our custom here, we've asked our guests what they would like you to know about Portsmouth. Let's hear what they had to say.
Portsmouth is a kind of what they say the hidden jewel. There's a lot of really beautiful architecture, nice people, friendly people, and a lot of interesting things to do.
Portsmouth is like a little jewel here in Hampton Roads. It's got a lot of history here. It's a close-knit community. That's one good reason to do business here in Portsmouth. And I'm a history buff, so I love the history about it. And it's just a good community to do business, and it's like a small town atmosphere.
Well, there you have it. But don't take their word for it. Come to Portsmouth. See what all the talk is about. I'm Rob Lauer. Join me next time for another episode of Portsmouth Insights.